So we're in the Happies today, just me and Kip. Coming to check out an old project called Bubba Lobotomy. It's up at the Toxic Avenger Boulder. So Toxic Avenger, very popular V9 that starts here and does a really big, not a really big, but does a dyno move from like here to here. Very satisfying to catch. And then there's an assortment of other climbs throughout this. There's a 5, it starts somewhere in here and goes this way. There's a very, very hard, in my opinion, very hard 9 that starts here and goes up. And then there's a bunch of connections. One I did a while ago called Bubba the Legend. It starts on the 5 and then climbs into Toxic and does the dyno. At the time I got V11, I think it gets V10 now. But then there's another one that starts on that really hard 9 down there, does these moves, and does the move on Toxic Avenger. I tried this years ago after I had done Bubba the Legend. I think it would have been one of my first 12s, if not my first 12. I gave it a few sessions and I ended up really injuring my wrist, maybe because of this climb, and I was out for like 6 months. It was like one of my worst injuries. And then I just really haven't been back to it. So I'm here for a day-ish, maybe 2. And I figured it's been a couple years. I'm hoping I'm stronger. I'm solo with 1 pad, so I'm just gonna sort of move the pad around and suss out the moves. We'll see if this is a good candidate for number 100. I'm still not quite warm, so I'm just gonna put the pad down and do some of the moves, warm up the fingers. Yeah, we'll see what happens. What are you doing, bub?
I went from trying to make a change in the world to chasing all the change in the world, and maybe acting crazy with girls. Yo, it's all about a chain and a pearl for a twirl at a nightclub. Do it for the FaceTime and the 10K pay that I may find, and embrace base hate in the daytime. Slip mines for some A3 brake lights, no. Otherwise everything's sold up. Old souls trying to bump like hold up, like hold up, like hold up. Day ones out here still show love. Some don't, but it's how it all goes, huh? I just show up with the show and singing no, bruh. That's a gold touch till it blows up, till the show's love. Keeping hopes up, keeping dreams big. Make a plan and the whole thing lean quick. Still time be line to the B list, but I'ma be where he is and we can relive it on the weekends. Yeah.
Just did the Toxic Avenger dyno a couple more times off camera because I forgot to hit record. But I'm feeling okay on it. I think I remember last time having to get higher feet to do the jump, and now I'm keeping them low, which is good because I think it'll save me a move. Or I think moving your feet when you're on that rail, you run the risk of just like popping off. I think that gives me a lot of confidence. It didn't feel too hard, it's just a little committing. It does feel a little bit wild, but it feels no harder than it did last time I was here. So I'd like to think I'm stronger, which means I think it's gonna come down to endurance really. So we'll see, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and I'm gonna try what I think is a harder moves, which is the beginning.
It's simple stuff we used to bump on and fruit. I do music for my kinfolk. Just keep the journey your momentum. Said it's simple stuff we used to bump on and fruit. I do music for my kinfolk. Just keep this journey your momentum. I know my new stuff is a bit wordy, but tell me how long it's been 10:30, and all these big dreams done went blurry. I get burned out late and get a Benz early. My Volvo here been dirty, I'm in Jersey.
I'm struggling with the beginning a bit. I think when I did it last time, I was hitting this first move to this nasty pocket and then just getting a foot and just pulling hard on that to cross to this. But I also think that's why my wrist exploded eventually. So I'm trying to find a heel hook around this arete right here, and I'm able to cross, but still hard.
My friends worry, some don't get it, just want to be, bruh. So I send jerky, and I send often my skin dirty. That's big mercy, and it's 10:30. We'll end chirpy. Let's go. Stuff we used to too.
So I figured out the beginning. The last time I was on this boulder, I was just yarding off this guy, and it seems too risky. I think that's the reason why my wrist blew out in the first place. So I found this good sort of bicycle. I don't like that I have to rip my feet out of it to keep going, but it's just painful on the skin and not on the soft tissue. So I'd rather do that than yard on a pocket. I'm gonna have to tape all my fingers because the lips on these pockets are very sharp. So I'm gonna chill, find out where I need to tape, trying to stay positive. I was hoping the intro moves would feel a little bit easier, but it's been a couple years. I definitely took the time to learn it last time, and I don't want to use the beta I used last time. So it's coming along, and hopefully I can give it some goes today. That is officially all the moves redone. So found a decent way to do the beginning. The middle moves aren't really that hard, but I wanted to make sure I knew how to do them. Where I dropped off, I did earlier. It doesn't feel, like I said, it doesn't feel any harder. It is very painful though. So I'm worried about my pain tolerance and also my endurance. I'm gonna take a shoe break and chill, maybe start giving it some goes and see where I'm at. I know the dyno feels way different from the beginning, but we'll give it some goes and see what to do from there.
Bring the workers out. Press on the exhaust, we be skirting now. No, we not the same, what you talking about? Got me all up in your mentions, must have heard around. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Tell them break it down. ISO Wendy's in your town, don't forget the dollar sign. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Tell them get in line. Hold it down. Came up from the underground. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Sounds good. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Sounds good. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Sounds good. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Sounds good. It's in the picture, let me crop them out. They told us trust the process, we ain't stopping now. They know that it's a scene when we popping out. Came up from the dirt, yeah, we popping out.
Come on. No! Damn it! Fuck me.
Dang.
We ain't slowing down, nah, ayy. Sitting like a boss, bring the workers out. Press on the exhaust, we be skirting now. No, we not the same.
Come on, Nick. Yes, Nick. Come on, dude.
Well, no send on Bubba today, but it was a good session. I gave it 3 solid goes, the last one of which was completely gassed. So I would say at least 2 solid goes. It kind of feels, the same as it did years ago when I tried just jumping for that dyno. So I don't know. I think I cleaned up the beginning a bit, and I think the bit I have now is easier, and I'm definitely stronger. I really just think I'm missing the endurance. So, we'll see. I'm wondering if I just try to Hail Mary tomorrow before I go to Vegas, or do I go to Vegas and come back and try it? But I don't know. It would be really cool to make Bubba Lobotomy my 100th double digit, honestly. It'd be really awesome to close out that chapter. So I'm gonna see how I feel tomorrow. Maybe try to do it Monday morning before we head to Vegas. But yeah, I'm feeling confident that I can do it. I'm definitely stronger than I was years ago when I tried it. So I think it just comes down to having the endurance and just executing, keeping my expectations low, and just trying to have fun. So fingers crossed.
Okay, so I did sneak in one more session before Vegas. I didn't send, but I picked up some new beta, which I'll talk about right now.
All right, haven't done much talking to the camera, but I'm back in Bishop. I did a couple sessions on Bubba last weekend and then drove to Vegas. Didn't do much climbing in Vegas, just hung out with Anita and some friends. The reason being is because I wanted to come back here. I realized, I think, my second session of this trip, I changed out my beta. The Toxic Avenger move has this big dyno, and I saw some other kids do it really easily by crossing big to the better hold that's normally your left hand, just crossing and doing that, and decided that that's probably going to be the way I do it. It's definitely harder. You need a little bit more in the tank, but it's higher percentage. Like you can just hit it and sort of ride. So decided to do that. A lot of people here today, but I'm gonna give it some goes. Feel pretty refreshed, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Come on, dude. Let's go. A good first go, baby.
This shit crazy. This shit feel like hitting the buzzer beater or something. Championship game. Dream team. Feeling better than I ever been. Cairo in his bag, this beat is heaven sent. Back up in my element, new whip, trunk up in the front, I whip an elephant. It's all limo tint, that's how you move when you the president. You assin' off stream, treat him like my last name. Disrespecting, you just signed a check for a long day. Appetizer rappers, you will never be an entree. Really, you a condiment, and I hope y'all follow this. Crazy how people with the most money lack the common sense. Batman over Gotham, how I'm over shit. Running this game, now they finally noticing. Hear us on TV like, damn, yup, I know that's them. Just had to pay the dues. Now I feel like we could never lose. Was just us against the world. Now we finally got the tools.
Like and subscribe.
All right, well, I was too psyched to do an outro, so I'll make it quick. I'm really excited to put down Bubba Lobotomy. It certainly isn't the most proud line in Bishop, but it means a lot to come back to a climb that was responsible for an awful wrist injury a couple years ago. And making it my 100th double digit made it even better. So that does it for 2021, and I'm looking forward to climbing in the new year.
Modern day Martin Luther, I'm a trooper. Gotta stand for something, or you'll fall for nothing. Then it's all for nothing, real dog. We just getting started like the kickoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch the lift off.